that what is going on is a massive discontinuity from the system that we all came to take for granted for during our lifetimes, but the system that has a continuity of growth uh, that we could call it 500 years, or we could call it 3,000 years almost. And this is coming to an end. And just to give it a proper perspective uh, to what it is and how the empire perceives it, I wanted to read a passage from Halford Mackinder's um, 1904 seminal paper about the global pivot, right? So here it is, the paragraph. The spaces within the Russian Empire and Mongolia, recall this was written and published in 1904. The spaces within the Russian Empire and Mongolia are so vast, and their potentialities in population, wheat, cotton, fuel, and metals so incalculably great, that it is inevitable that a vast economic world, more or less apart, will develop inaccessible to oceanic commerce. In the world at large, Russia occupies the central strategic position held by Germany in Europe. She can strike on all sides save the north. The full development of her modern railway mobility is merely a matter of time. The oversetting of the balance of power in favor of the pivot state, resulting in its expansion over the marginal lands of Eurasia, would permit of the use of vast continental resources for fleet building, and the empire of the world would then be in sight. This might happen if Germany were to ally itself with Russia. Okay, so I think that what Mackinder couldn't have predicted is the alliance between Russia and China, because they were deathly afraid, the imperial establishment were deathly afraid of the alliance between Germany and Russia. They didn't foresee the alliance between China and Russia, and Mackinder did write about the emergence of China, but in their own kind of we should call it racist way. They only thought that China could become a factor in world affairs if it were organized by the Japanese. That was Mackinder's. If China were ever to be organized by the Japanese, it might become, a player in that area. But this fear of Russia emerging as a power and the Eurasia developing its economic potential independent of the, then British, today American empire, was the primal fear of the imperial establishment for more than 100 years now. And so now we see exactly that happening. And so it also explains the reactions of the American establishment. They want to be the hub of everything. They want all the lines of commerce and all the lines of payments to go through New York. And now, like if Iran builds a pipeline to Pakistan, they're in a tizzy. If Cambodia develops its own trade relations with other countries, they want to sabotage and disable all of this. But I think that their efforts are amounting kind of like King Canute flogging the waves to stem the tide. It's too big, it's too strong, it's too robust. You cannot stop it, you cannot reverse it. I think that the Western powers, including the United States, would do much, much better if they just simply joined these integration processes as a trading partner, because it's a massive market. We see that these developments are putting something like 100 million affluent consumers on the markets every year. That's huge. So that's a huge market that you can sell to if you have something to sell, if you produce goods and services, rather than trying to kneecap them. The Tonya Harding approach to competition. They should simply, Western nations have a lot to offer in trade, so they should just trade with them rather than always sabotaging, trying to censor them and trying to disable these developments. But unfortunately, nobody asked me, so we'll see how it goes.